What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Dogecoin. But before we get started, if you're not a member of the free Discord, please click the link in the description box below and get started with the free Discord. And without further ado, we'll get straight into today's video. Okay, so Dogecoin. So I want to point out this rounded bottom. As you can see here on Dogecoin, we have a very nice rounded bottom forming, and price has gone all the way up to 15 cents. So this was a really nice recovery off of this correction that we saw right here over the summer, which we did talk about this as being a high probability potential for Dogecoin to have a correction over the summer. So it did. Now it bottomed out and it's starting to reverse, and you can see this perfect rounded bottom as a result of that summer correction and recovery. So the other thing that we see here with Dogecoin, which I have talked about on a lot of different videos, is just how similar the Dogecoin structure looks to Bitcoin. Now, real quick on the rounded bottom, this is a super bullish pattern. So long as we can break bullish up through this local resistance, this is a very, very bullish pattern to have this rounded bottom forming on Dogecoin. Now let's zoom out a little bit here and compare Dogecoin to Bitcoin, because if you don't know, Dogecoin looks almost exactly like early day Bitcoin. So let's zoom out here, and it's super easy to compare these two charts together. All you got to do is zoom out on Dogecoin, then pull up Bitcoin over here on the right, and you can see the similarities between these two structures. So let's pull up Bitcoin here, go back to 2015, and take a look at the market structure between these two charts. All right, and also let's zoom out a little bit here on Bitcoin too. Here we go. All right, so we have Dogecoin over here on the left, and we have Bitcoin over here on the right. Let's zoom out even a little bit further here so we can get a better view of Bitcoin. There we go. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, this is a complete market cycle. Price went from being worth about $17 on Bitcoin all the way up to about $1,100 per coin, then back down to $180. So that's a very typical market cycle. You start at a very low valuation, you have this kind of first sell-off pattern, then the market goes parabolic all the way up to a very high valuation in relation to the price that it was before the cycle started. Then you have a big correction pulling you back down to usually somewhere where the first sell-off happened. So as you can see, that's exactly what took place here on Bitcoin. Huge extended parabolic run, and then a big extended correction, pulling it all the way back down to those prices that it was at during this first sell-off. So again, it started about $9 down here, 10, 9, somewhere around there, and then went all the way up to $1,100 and then back down to $180. So that's pretty high volatility. That's a lot of movement on the upside. That's a lot of movement on the downside. That's a pretty big shakeout and pump in the market, which creates this big market cycle. So what we see here with Dogecoin is actually the exact same thing. Dogecoin did the exact same thing. It started out being worth 0.008 cents and then went all the way up to almost 80 cents. And then it pulled back all the way down to about 7 cents per coin. So this is what market cycles do. This is the structure the market makes when it's undervalued. So it pumps, then it becomes overvalued, then the market pulls back, and it becomes undervalued all over again. That's what a market cycle looks like. And if you can imprint this image in your mind of what a market cycle looks like, you can make money in crypto or silver or gold or stocks or whatever you're trading. Because if you can buy the bottom of these market cycles, you can get in before they break out into a new cycle. So if you can train your eye to see these patterns, then you can train yourself to make money in the markets. And it's not about, what the news says. It's not about what the people are saying about the technology. It's all about looking at the chart and seeing that cycle and saying, hey, look, this is very undervalued. This is super undervalued right now. And then capitalizing on that, taking advantage of that undervaluation, putting money in early on, buying when other people are fearful, buying at the bottom of these market cycles, and preparing for a big moon to come. So yeah, you can see the similarities between these two charts. It's the same thing. It's the same emotional psychology that took place on Bitcoin back in the day that's taking place on Dogecoin today. The same exact thing. And what you're seeing here with Dogecoin, you're seeing a recovery start to take place, where we already started to bottom out a little bit, we pulled back, and we're starting to build momentum back up in the market. And you can see that's exactly what Bitcoin did over here. As it started to build momentum up, it didn't mean that Bitcoin went straight up. Look, it had a correction here, had a lot of corrections along the way up, just like how Dogecoin had a correction over the summer. But it does mean that the market had bottomed out, that it was undervalued over here on Bitcoin, and it started to reverse and start to break out and become overvalued again. That's what markets do. They go through undervalued phases, overvalued phases, so they have to correct after they get overvalued, and they have to break out when they get undervalued. And for me personally, I see Dogecoin as being very undervalued. It's worth 15 cents. It's been worth 80 cents before, almost 80 cents. And we're starting to see that big picture reversal take place. As this takes place, I believe we're going to see Dogecoin break out and become overvalued again at some point. And it's going to look something like this, where the market builds up momentum and then finally breaks that old all-time high. And when it does, that's when things get really exciting. But you don't want to be waiting for a break of the old all-time high to get into this market. That would be ridiculous. You can buy it at 15 cents now. Why wait until it's worth 80 before you get in? So when I first got into Bitcoin, my little brother actually showed me what Bitcoin was. He told me that Bitcoin was this technology that you could mine with your computer, and it was worth real money. And I looked at him and I said, that must be the biggest scam ever. And I honestly didn't believe him. I didn't believe that would be a real thing. It sounded so crazy to me. But then I looked into it and I started researching it. It aligned with my political beliefs. It aligned with my technological views about the advancement of technology and all of that kind of stuff. And I got excited about Bitcoin. So I started investing in it. And I started investing very early on, down here when Bitcoin was worth about $180 in this area right here. I was buying Bitcoin. And I'm here to tell you that when it started to break out, a lot of people had no idea what was coming, including myself. I believed in it, but I didn't know just how much it was going to go up in value. So what I'm telling you now is that you don't want to wait until it's perfectly abundantly clear. You want to get into this stuff early on when people are a little bit curious, when they're a little bit skeptical, even a little bit cynical, and you want to buy the dip when it's undervalued so that when it goes like Bitcoin did in 2017 and 2016 and it breaks its old all-time high, you got in early. You were looking at it early, you got in early, and you were able to position yourself to make a lot of money. But if you wait, you're just going to get that last little exciting bit of the pump. You're going to miss out on all of the profit that comes from buying early on down here, buying when people are scared. So you don't want to miss out. You want to get in early, even if crypto sounds crazy to you, even if you're like, what the heck, Dogecoin, it's about a meme. It's about a dog meme. How could that ever break out and go into billions of dollars of valuation? Well, people said the same thing about Bitcoin. They just said Bitcoin has nothing to back it. They're like, Bitcoin is some random online currency that isn't even real. They had the same questions. So you have to be able to kind of see the value of something, even if you don't completely understand it, before everybody's talking about it. When it's undervalued at the bottom of these cycles, when people are skeptical, when the news is bad, when people think the market's going to go down or sideways for forever, those are the times the market is good to buy. Those are the times that you can make the most money investing in crypto. So yeah, I do think Dogecoin is getting ready for a big reversal. We're already starting to see it. We're already seeing it start to turn around here. It's worth 15 cents. It's basically completely recovered from the summer correction. And once we break above 20 cents, you're going to see money come into this thing even faster. And as it starts to build up that momentum, just like Bitcoin back in the day, and as it builds that momentum up over time, it's going to get parabolic, where the market is moving faster and faster and faster. So you don't want to miss out on it. You don't want to try to play it smart and be like, oh, thinking that you're smarter than you are and be like, oh, I'm going to wait until crypto becomes, till more development happens, till we get more clarity on regulation. You can't be waiting around. You don't want to wait around for that kind of stuff because there's no guarantee that you're going to have a perfectly clear opportunity and then to take advantage of that opportunity because everything looks perfect to you. In fact, to be honest with you, the perfect opportunity is usually when it takes a little bit of faith. That's true for all of life. If there's a good opportunity, very rarely does it present itself as just abundantly clear. You have to have a little bit of faith to take advantage of that opportunity. And that's what I see for Dogecoin. People might be skeptical. They might be sidelined right now with a lot of their money, thinking, oh, the market's going to go lower. Don't be that guy. Have a little bit of faith. Buy early on before the market takes off. That's how you're going to make money. The opportunity, when it's perfectly clear, it's too late. It's gone. It's past. You have to have faith that the opportunity is there when it's not perfectly clear to you. And as you get better at this, as you get better at trading and investing, it gets easier to see those opportunities. They become clearer to you, but it's not because of just like a news article or some regulatory factor. It's because you've learned the charts and you can see the opportunity when it's there, even though everybody else is still skeptical. You've tuned yourself to the frequency of the whales, I like to say. You've tuned into the big players. You're seeing what the big players see, and you're buying, and it looks clear to you. It looks like a good opportunity, but most everybody else, they're waiting for confirmation. They're waiting for regulatory clarity. They're waiting for all the wrong things, and then they miss out. So you got to keep that in mind. And yeah, I do think this will be a big bull market for Dogecoin. I think it's going to be a huge player this cycle. It's literally a sleeping giant waiting to break out, wake up, and just obliterate everything. I really believe that. I mean, it's a dog meme, but I really think this is pretty much the Godzilla of crypto. It's going to go around just destroying everything. So get ready for big things on Dogecoin. I see a lot of bullishness. I see a big picture reversal coming. I see rounded bottoms on smaller time frames. I've seen these cycles before. It's a good setup, and I believe it's going to be a big player this cycle. So that's my update on Dogecoin. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to pick up some Dogecoin. I really believe you will be glad that you did. And yeah, that's my update on Dogecoin. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. I love and appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and share it with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. And as always, stay profitable out there.